and the ugly girls too. Cause to me you pretty anyway, baby. You give me your number, I call you up. You act like your pussy on interrupt. I don't have no trouble with you fucking me, but I have a little problem with you not fucking me. Baby, you know I'ma take care of you, cause you say you got my baby and I know it ain't true. Is it a good thing? No, it's bad, bitch. For good or worse, makes you switch. So I walk on over with my crystal. Bitches, niggas, put away your pistol. Dirty won't be having it in this house, cause bitch, I'll cripple your style. Now that you heard my charming voice, you couldn't get another nigga. Your coochie won't get moist. If you wanna look good and not be bummy, yo, you better give me that money.
Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money, don't you worry. I said, hey, baby, I got your money. Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money.
So real quick, why are they so violent? Like that's my like no. Like they play, that's what they do. Like they play and they just kind of eat each other's faces.
That's their language. Seemed like they were on beat too, a little bit.
I mean, I would love to stand that out, and I'm some kind of tech wizard. I'm not. But, boys and girls, welcome to the X's Nose. This is Rich.
This is Jermaine.
And Phatty 316.
And clearly, he is mentally disabled because he reached out to me saying that he enjoyed what we do. And I'm like, you are a big silly pants because nobody thinks that. But thank you for taking out the time. Sincerely.
Thank you.
No problem.
So tell the folks that may or may not have come across you before what you do and who you are.
I'm one of the co-hosts of the Bayou Geeks YouTube channel podcast. We started out as a podcast about 4 years ago. Actually, the idea of the Bayou Geeks actually came around 13 years ago, but it wasn't the Bayou Geek show. It was a brainchild of me and another friend. It was actually going to be a wrestling show. And we kind of started out that we were called Gorilla, Kayfabe and Gorilla was our original name. And then he had to do something else. And I just kind of juggled the idea of what to do with the show. And I noticed like a lot of people were just doing their own thing, like the things they love, more pop culture stuff. And then another friend of mine, he's like, look, well, let's do it. Well, it was kind of off and on with me and him. So we established something for the first year and a half with the Bayou Geeks. And then he left and I brought on Maximus G420 and we became a YouTube channel. And I mean, it wouldn't actually, and with the help of Kevin Castle too. I mean, that's how we really got our start. And then we brought in Dirk. Actually, Dirk was with me with the podcast, the original podcast. And he would just always fill in when I needed help. And when I did the Bayou Geeks on YouTube, I had to keep him on. And, he earned it, he deserved it. And Chris was just a fan of ours. And, and then my whole thing when I started the Bayou Geeks was the fact that I want to be fan friendly from day one. To me, that's your number one priority to any entertainer, musician, whatever. That should be your priority. People don't fucking follow that shit now, but they should learn. But, Chris was a loyal fan, always was lit in the show. It's like, hey, you want to come on? He came in on one time. Rest was history.
I mean, funny enough, I invited Chris to come do a baseball show a few weeks back, and it went so well, and we had such good chemistry. We're now doing that every 2 weeks now. So
Sweet.
Yeah, I know. We were messing with him the other night about it. We are like, oh, you're gonna leave it? So you're gonna go buy your menthol cigarettes and leave and shit, and never come back? Huh? That's how it's gonna work.
He said menthol cigarettes. Is that a Pittsburgh thing, a Pennsylvania thing? Menthol cigarettes.
And he was like, no, man. And so the rest of the night we were just ribbing him hard about it. We're like, oh, he's leaving for a cigarette, guys. Look, because he left the screen. We were like, yep, there he went. And never coming back. He's going to the store to get milk, and he's not coming back.
You saying the Bayou, is y'all from Louisiana or all over the South or
New Orleans? I'm from the New Orleans area. Born and raised, lived here my whole life. Rich was asking before we came on, I should give the up north the try. Not in a million years. I mean, New Orleans, it's hard to explain. New Orleans is special. I mean, it ain't like any other city. This place has soul. And after Katrina, it realized how much you really loved her, you know? And
We have racism. We love it.
We have racism?
No, we do up here.
Oh.
Really.
He said we got good old wholesome, hearty, up north racism.
You know, I've been in the South my whole life, and I couldn't tell you on one hand how much I've seen actual racism. That's
really.
Look, when I hear people talk about the South like it was the Jim Crow South and shit, it's like, huh? Where was this at? It wasn't during my lifetime, apparently. And where I grew up, it was never. It was just like everybody grew up together. And when you see it like in movies portray like these redneck racist Southerners, it's like, where are they getting these people from? You know,
that's your Arkansas, your Mississippi's, you know, your Georgia. I mean, I don't think, you know, New Orleans and Louisiana, like just the history of the whole Louisiana thing, the whole Louisiana Purchase and all that. It just seemed like things were a little bit different there because it's like, I don't know, more of a community sense. But yeah, hardcore South, like your Tennessees, South Carolinas, your Georgias, Mississippi, Arkansas, Florida, some of Florida. Yeah, you're going to see the hardcore racism, hardcore Jim Crow.
You're correct about the Louisiana Purchase, because that was all owned by France, and France was, you know, they were more open to everything, and it's crazy because when I've gotten into arguments with people, don't understand. You got to deep into the history, especially of New Orleans. New Orleans is one of the most freest cities back then, and people don't realize that because it was so culturally intertwined. You know, like we don't have country rednecks down here. We have like Cajun French rednecks, you know, with these hardcore accents. You know, ain't like, hey, no, it's like, hey, come on, you know, with them hard, like a Gambit accent, you know. So
you're right with that whole.
It's so funny, especially Louisiana ones. They always get a kick out of.
Yeah, you're right with that cultural hotbed. It's like, okay, you know, the entertainment business, you know, the jazz, the playing the musics, the instruments, you know, those are some of the instruments, pun intended, but those are some of the ways that, you know, we did find differences and we did find similarities between, you know, the different cultures and come together. You know, you can be racist as you want, but on a Friday night, if you want to have a good time, you're going to go into a club, you know, that's playing, you know, some good music, and you're going to get along with all ethnicities at one time. So, yeah, just the atmosphere of the entertainment that goes on in Louisiana or in New Orleans, you know, would definitely lead me to believe that it was a lot less Jim Crow than other areas of the South, for sure.
Oh, it was okay. I got to give you a little background. I'm over talking. Let me know. My parents were older when they had me. I was born in 1977. So my mom was 42. My dad was 50 when I was born. So they grew up way back when. And what my mom told me was she grew up dirt poor. And people who were poor, no matter what race they were, they all lived in the same community. They didn't get, you know, poorness didn't have a fucking, you know, decided, you know,
a color.
Who's going to be poor. Exactly. And I mean, so obviously we were raised like that. So, you know, but like I said, we didn't grow up. The movies lie. The movies have been lying.
Well, you think about it. I mean, think about the news, right? You watch the news at night. It's rape, arson, murder, yada, yada, yada. You're not going to see like good old puppy, you know, a puppy was saved from a tree kind of story. Everyone likes
Nobody wants to hear that.
That's what you
right. You watch the news for the. There you go. You watch the news for the train wreck that is society, right? So in the movies, you're not going to see kumbaya. You're going to be like white power, like that.
Yeah.
So there's our Chappelle reference. We haven't done that in a while, so there's our Chappelle reference.
That's like That's like I have yet. I'm 48 years old. I have yet to see one Ku Klux Klan member ever.
Really?
I'm still waiting. I mean, they're supposed to be abundance down here, but yet I have never seen one ever.
Even as a child, you never seen like a gathering of 2 or 3 of them or anything like that.
Nothing like that ever. You know.
Yeah, I'm 47, so yeah. I mean, we're in the same age bracket, so wow, I'm shocked.
I heard
Well,
more.
here, let me go get my hood. 1 second.
Look, we had more we in the late 80s, early 90s, we had more of a Satanist satanic ritual problem than we ever did a fucking Ku Klux
That
Klan
makes sense.
problem.
Like the hoodoo and the
Well,
voodoo.
the voodoo, yeah, Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana is definitely
Well, no,
well known for the voodoo.
Voodoo and Satanism are two different things.
Yeah.
These were hardcore Satanists, and they were going like kill cows and mutilating cows and shit like that, having rituals,
sacrificing heads and shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I grew up in the heavy metal thing too, so I kind of got a gist of what they used to do, and it's like, they offered the best benefits. Orgies and all the drugs you fucking possibly want. Well, 21-year-old impressionable kid, but nah.
So, just kind of circling back here for anyone that hasn't watched your pod. So, what do you talk about? Like, what is your kind of?
Well, as of lately, we've kind of been all over the place. We started out trying to do like headlines of the week, and we still do. But more it's become like a freestyle, more like a hangout, in which I kind of like. But like I was telling them, we kind of got to do a mixture of the both. But it's just I call it the Gen X hangout.
Okay.
And that's it's fun. If you get offended easily, don't watch, because I grew up watching Blazing Saddles. I mean, sorry. Sorry. Watching Eddie Murphy Delirious. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I still laugh to that shit to this very day. It's some of the funniest shit you'll ever hear.
Ever.
But yeah, that's what the Bayou Geeks is. It's become just a hangout, really. And anyone's invited to come on.
And I think that's starting to appeal to more people than the segmented kind of pods, right? Like you have your, it's 8 minutes in, so we need to cover our, okay, now we're at the 17-minute mark. And then like that feels very, I don't know,
regimented.
Yeah.
Structure.
There isn't any room to kind of pivot and just have a conversation. Like, I don't know. That's not fun. And I can't imagine it's fun for people that are doing it, let alone a listener.
Well, I noticed with a lot of YouTubers I've been following for years and watch their channels grow. And I noticed a lot of them, now that they're making a lot of money, they're getting lazy. It's more live stream than actual content, the shit that made them famous and made them good. And I've noticed myself kind of weaning off of them and shit more. And it's like they're going to start reaching their peak pretty soon too. And it's like you got to try to stay fresh. What makes you popular, you got to stick with that. I mean, you can change, but it's like, Pearl Jam should have stuck with the first album sound and they would have been all right.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like to stay relevant, you need to be able to evolve and adapt and things like that. But you also need to stay true to what got you there. Like
exactly.
It's a weird kind of tap dance you have to do, but like you're saying, it seems like some of the folks that you really were into, they were like, I'm just gonna do this because I already have my cash flow coming in. I don't really need to do the work. And that I think
we've had discussions before where it's just the hunger, I guess, is just not there. Like when you first start, you're so hungry and you have so many fresh organic ideas. It's, you throw everything out there, and then it's a shame that with success, somehow you get lazy. Somehow the hunger's not there and other people start getting involved, where you start letting other people either write your content or provide suggestions to your content. And Even if these assholes on the sideline had the content that you're supposed to be spitting, then why don't they have a show? So why are you listening to them? So it's like, I don't know. Success, it takes the hunger out your mouth. And that's in everything. That's not just, entertainment. You even see it in sports, That's why it's so hard to repeat championships, because the hunger is not there.
Another thing, I noticed a lot of the big ones, they're getting in cahoots with one another too.
Right.
And it just kind of hurts the little guys too, and they were supposed to be these defenders of what, they were out to do. And now they're a part of the fucking system, making it harder for everybody else. And they doing so many live streams now. I mean, they're relying on their super chats to get them through, and people, giving it to them. I mean, they don't. I barely see them doing their own content anymore.
Yeah, that's and I understand it, right? I get it, because you get to a certain, the whole point is to make it a career / way of living, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you hit that place where you're comfortable, I understand where you're like, okay, I'm now, because it's a pyramid thing. It all is going to dribble downhill, and you have reoccurring income. You don't have to really do much to keep that coming in. But you still want to entertain the people that are there, because they have the option to leave. But you also understand it's almost like a cult-like following, because if you have had someone on board from day one or whatever, they're pretty much going to roll with you.
I've said it millions of times. I don't want to get paid for this shit. I don't want it to become a job.
Why?
Because I've been down this road before with something. I used to DJ.
Oh, okay.
And when it became a job, it stopped being fun. I'd have to be here, be there. When I enjoy being by myself with the turntables than I do in front of a crowd getting paid $200 for 3 hours. Because, and it's not so much. It's especially when you do the bars, it's an issue, because you got to deal with all these drunk people. I think you have every song ever written, and then you got to deal with that. Then I kid you not, I can never listen to that the wobble.
Those dancing songs. Oh yeah, I hate them.
I couldn't tell you how many times a night I would have to play from some middle-aged drunk white woman. And I am so, if I heard that song again, I'd go nuts.
It's all different deviations of the electric slide. It's like the electric slide on crack, the electric slide on heroin is just all these different versions of it, but it's the same purpose. It's line dancing, getting together and the whole crowd. And I hate that shit too. People try to get me to join in. I'm like, keep me away from that.
It was just that particular song they always wanted. It was never like maybe the electric slide or something else or this. It was that one, and the wobble. For like 4 or 5 times a night. I'm like, I've already played. Oh, play it again. It's like, and that's the shit you got aggravated with.
Yeah. It's like your talent as a DJ is going to waste, because you're just a glorified jukebox at that point. Like you're not really using any of your DJ skill. You're just playing a record, playing it by request.
Right? Jermaine, I have used them exact words, glorified jukebox, before to somebody. I told them that. I was like, I'm not a glorified jukebox. Yeah, there's the jukebox on the fucking wall.
Yep.
And you get into some shit with people too. If you don't have a song, they get all fucking pissed off.
Yeah.
Cursing you out and shit for no reason and shit. It's like, oh fuck. It's time for me to go.
I do understand though the
Tootsie Roll.
I guess the fear of it becoming a job, because you do lose that freedom of of calling it a hobby, calling it a passion project, calling it whatever you want to call it. Because then you have the seriousness and the deadlines and the expectation, right? Like right now, we don't have any well, do we have an I don't know. I think we have expectations of ourselves. I don't think people that watch us have really an expectation.
Yeah, you're not expected to have a show up every week. You don't have to if you don't want to do it. Y'all can just be like, fuck it, we're off this week. You know?
Right.
Yeah. There's no, there's no absentee checklist or, hey, you miss 3 times, you get written up or anything like that. It's just that, but still there's that whole cliche of if you love what you're doing, you shouldn't feel like you worked a day in your life because you love what you're doing. It's not work to you. So I'm not going to pass on being paid.
Right.
I will take the pay, but at the same time, I don't want to fall into the habit of it being a task or, like you said, a job. I want to follow the path of if I love what I'm doing, I never feel like I'm working, but I am still getting paid, But
so
just success just changes things. I mean, success just, I don't know, it throws that wrench in the program where it's like, I ain't gonna say forces you to be lazy, but it allows you to get complacent.
Well, also depending on how you getting paid, people could have say so in your show. So it depends on which way you're getting paid. If it's a sponsor or an investor, whatever, somehow they're gonna have clause in your show, and it's not in your show anymore, and that's why it's mine. I created it.
That happened to Chappelle. That happened to Chappelle. I guess after his first or second season with Comedy Central, they invested, I guess, gave him $50 million, and they tried to change his content, and he walked away. It's like if first it was maybe me and 3 of my friends that made all the content, and then you bring in 7 people that invested, and they all got in. Then it's no longer my show. 70% of it is outsiders. So I don't. Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I am a business guy. I am a marketing guy. I am a numbers guy. I will suck both of your guys' dicks to make this a business. I want this to make money very badly. I want this to be my job. I don't know why, really. I think, I call it a calling, call it whatever, but kind of feels like I was built to do something like this. I haven't really stuck to anything for this long and been this adamant and this creative, whatever you want to call it, excited about something for this like sustained amount of time. I mean, we're what, 700, 800 days, and I'm still like, oh yeah, this is fucking fun. I don't know, but those are all very, very valid points. Because yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about the investors, the advertisers saying, "Hey, so when you said like you butt fucked a demon a few episodes back, you can't say that." It's like,
we're gonna need you to go cut that out of that episode and blah blah.
Right.
And I get that.
Then you're changing the perception of who I am. I mean, if I say I'm wild and raw, and then by the time it's like, hey, I'm a piece of bread and I'm all rugged, I got rough edges, and then you cut off all the edges and smooth it out, and I'm no longer a piece of bread. I'm like, a pile of dough or something like that. Like, you can't cookie cut and shape me all different ways. Then it's not me at that point.
Yeah, it's like the WWE right now. It'll never be the same again.
Piece of bread. That's your analogy. I fucking like it. I feel like you would be rye bread. You would have to be rye bread. Yeah.
Nah.
No, the reason why I went there is because I don't know. I was thinking of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you know how you think about the square peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and then the ones that come in those little packages, they're like fucking cut off. They're like those
Yeah,
little circular little peanut. Yeah, it's like, is that a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? The ones in the package, or the ones with the fucking square Wonder Bread with peanut butter and jelly? I'd rather have the straight up square Wonder Bread.
Right?
Don't change me into a circular little pie and throw me in a package. It's not the same thing.
Clutch. I don't know, man. A little pocket Sammy. Surprise pocket Sammy. Good.
You know my analogies don't always make sense, but hey,
I know.
I throw them out there. I don't give a fuck.
Ooh. Did you now? Kev, what
My
flavor did you
first
go with?
Uncrustable. Oh, that's what they're called. Yeah, Uncrustables. Yeah.
There's only one correct answer, but I want to know what flavor you went with. So let's see. Anything interesting this week, boys?
No, not just work on pools.
No, fair.
Thrilling
Strawberry,
and eventful.
good man, Kev.
And look, I'll be real with you. The pool boy fantasy and pornos is not real. I promise. It never happened.
No.
He said those chicks never turn around and fuck the pool boy, huh?
You'll see a naked dude before you ever see a naked chick. I promise you.
Okay.
Walk never had backyard. You're like, oh hey, oh come on in, Chris. How you doing? I'll just empty the skimmer and test the chemical. You know, doing this shit.
Oh, boy.
All right, I gotta go. No, come on in. It's like, yeah, I don't get paid enough for this shit.
I thought you had all the good old Janices and Nancys coming up and trying to braid your hair. That's sad.
Hardly style.
Porn fantasy is not real. I promise.
He said, "Do not think about it."
No.
Yeah, nothing new. You know, Memorial Day. Anybody do anything? Birthday week. I didn't do nothing. I just enjoyed my time off. I've been sleeping like a madman. I'm sleeping until like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. Just catching up sleep, just tearing up sleep. That's about it. Nothing crazy and out of the ordinary. No, just time off, resting. Go back tomorrow.
I got my court date in the mail. That was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not till like the end of July. I'm like, God bless, man. Okay, fine.
I think they schedule those on purpose to the point where by the time the court date comes around, almost everybody's forgot what happened. And it's like the whole time you're piecing together, like, what? Did I do that? Like, I mean, you kind of don't remember.
In the trunk, or did she jump in the trunk herself? I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah. We attempted to build a patio. We mismeasured a few things, so we need to go back and get planters, different size planters. So that's fun. But I don't know, that shit was exciting. I felt like a man. For a while. It was good. Proud of myself. I'm like, look at me doing fucking grown man shit. Good.
Home improvement dude. What's the dude's name again? Home improvement guy?
Tim Allen, yeah.
Yeah. He's doing your Tim Allen.
Tim the Two-Man Taylor.
Finally, thank you, Jesus. Finally, someone called me back to actually say, hey, would you like to work somewhere? I'm like, I would fucking love to work somewhere. So
okay.
I'm now finally gainfully employed, so I'm not having to do like the gig work anymore. So that's fun.
When do you start there? You got to train. What is it, like 4 weeks of training, 6 weeks of training?
No, it's like 3 days.
3 days. Damn.
Yeah, but it's basically working like back office tech stuff for gas station. So kind of like dealing with their like, hey, why is the register not talking to the little handheld thing, and why are my promotions not going into the register? So I'm like, okay.
So you get it's like you work inside, right?
I'm working at like a it's just like a little office, and they just call in, or they
Okay.
email in, or they submit tickets and stuff like that. So
I was gonna say I envy you.
yeah.
You don't want to work in this heat down here.
Oh no, God no. If it's
This
like
this is
no.
this is like shit y'all would never be able to handle. I promise. If you're not born and raised here, you don't want to live. You don't want to.
Different type of heat, huh?
Piece of advice: you ever want to visit New Orleans? Come December, January, February. Come when it's cold. I promise you, enjoy
that's
it
when we
more.
do cruises and stuff. That's why we plan it the way we plan it. We plan it, January, February, or November, October, where it's like moderate and like 80, 85 at those like tropical wherever the fuck we goes. And
November's not too bad neither. I mean, once the humidity starts getting out here around October, it starts to feel like fall.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, it ain't dry heat like Arizona. I mean, I imagine Bayou is like that humid.
Oh yes, it's like suffocation, suffocation, humidity. Like
take a shower and you get out the shower, and 10 seconds later you're sweating like crazy shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. God. Yeah, I can't take that shit.
Shit. Like even in first thing in the morning, you think that'd be the coolest part? 4 in the morning. It's fucking humid as shit.
Oh yeah.
God
oh
damn.
yeah. So we're bitchy in the Northeast. We can never ever be content. We are either too cold or too hot. We never read Goldilocks and the Three Bears. We skipped over that part. We are miserable people. Like right now it is. Let's see.
It was like 70 all day today, but it was like a cool 70 with like a breeze to it. So it was almost felt like 65-ish, So it's like hoodie weather. That's why I got on this sweater, because it's not, I mean, I got my windows open and it's not exactly hot in here. So it's okay to have a sweater on.
Because you got either touched by Diddy or you're trying to touch Diddy. That's why you're wearing that sweater.
He just threw Diddy and there's Cassie to part 2 and shit. Yeah, man, I'm not an extreme weather person, and Rich, we talked about this, and we agreed on it. I'm that in between season person. I love the spring and I love the fall. Fall mainly number one because football, of course. Love football, NFL football, but yeah, I can't stick. I can't take the extreme heat where it's just too hot, like you're talking about. Phatty with that Bayou type of shit. Nah, that's that slap. You ready to slap somebody, there's no relief. And then I don't like it freezing cold to the point where you feel like if you spit, it's going to freeze before it even hit the ground. I can't take no shit like that either. So.
No, we never get it. We don't get y'all cold. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Yeah. What's cold for you guys? Like 60?
No.
50 something.
Cold. I don't know, because some people like me, I like the cold weather because we don't. It's like very rare here. I wouldn't say rare, but we only get it for a short period of time. Unlike y'all probably get it for a long period of time. Cold, I guess to the normal person, around 35, 30.
I'm still wearing shorts.
I can deal with it. I mean, that don't bother me. I can go outside in my boxes and smoke a cigarette and not give a shit.
Have you ever seen snow down there? I'm pretty sure you've seen snow in probably different cities.
Oh yeah, this year we got the biggest snowstorm ever. In February. I'm surprised y'all didn't hear about that. For the first time ever, we were buried in 5 feet of snow. Not 5. Well, no, it was about 4 feet. 4 feet of snow.
New Orleans? Wow.
It was like everything was white. I've never, my whole life, I've never seen that. When we get snow, we get that the like flutters, and it becomes like just hard ice. That's the snow we get. When it does snow. This was like real northern snow. I mean, everything got covered. When you walked on it, just gave you that little crunching sound. It was beautiful, and it was only posted like a half a foot. Turned out to be 4 feet. My boss just told us, he was like, look, fuck it, y'all off for the rest of the week. Who cares? Enjoy it. And everything was covered. I mean, we're not prepared for shit like that. So everybody had to wait it out till it melted. But it was cool to just see that. I mean, I've never seen that before. I mean, I've been up to Missouri and saw it snow in real snow, but never like that here ever. But there's a but to this. There's a bad omen. I'm going to bring you back to 2004, right? Christmas Day, 2004. Wake up Christmas morning, everything was fine. Little sun was out. Go back in, do presents with my wife, or my ex-wife, and my daughter. We leave to go to my in-laws' house. It's fucking snowing. On Christmas Day in Louisiana, it was fucking a miracle. It was like the greatest thing ever. It wasn't like it was in February here. It was the flooders, but it was mostly all day. So that's what made it cool. Hand to God, I told my ex-wife, we're going to have a bad hurricane next year, aren't we? She was like, no shit. Katrina happens the next year.
Oh,
this year is the 20th anniversary of Katrina, and we just had the worst snow ever.
Ooh.
I'm glad we got the podcast in now before you die, so that's good.
Oh, don't nothing happen, but man, all signs point to.
Well, you know what? I'll go out live, floating on a fucking piece of wood live. You know,
there you go.
I get $1 million, baby. Because you gotta remember, that's 20 years ago. They didn't have cell phones back then. So now motherfuckers are going to be streaming a fucking shit like that now.
Like, you're saying it tongue in cheek, but you're not wrong. Like 100% that's going to happen. Like, people are going to somehow be like, I'm going to go viral. No, you're going to float. That's not. No.
But you know what the funny thing about the people in New Orleans, and like I was telling you, Richard, earlier about, you know, that whole 20-mile radius.
Yeah.
We're not scared of hurricanes down here. Hurricanes don't bother us at all. It's like a hurricane's coming, fuck it, let's bonk it down. You know what people in New Orleans, they get scared of the most? What's that?
It's the water.
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nope. The thing they're scared of the most during a hurricane is losing power in their air condition.
You know what?
No one's worried about dying during a hurricane. Everybody's worried about their fucking air condition. If they can sleep good at night.
Long as you die cool down, you're like, all right, I'll die like this.
God, honest truth. No one gives a shit about dying in a hurricane.
Long as you ain't dying sweating, you good.
Look, if people can have their air condition just at nighttime, and okay, you can't have it during the day, they can live with that. But if they can have it while they slept, no one gives a fuck about a hurricane here. I swear. That's how people think. Everybody's like, I've been through it. Who cares?
You say hurricanes mean nothing to y'all. If we get the residual from a hurricane that happened down south, we get a bad storm. I mean, it's panic here. You know, it's like, oh my God, and power's out, and like internet is out and everything. And that's just the little bit of, like I said, the residual effects of a storm may be hitting Georgia or South Carolina, and we get the backflow from it. Y'all just stand hurricanes in the face like nothing. Is that all you got?
Katrina was an experience, though. That was it was one of the moments where you're like, I can't believe this has happened to me, you know. And it was surreal, especially when we came back, because I was one of the first people to come back into the city a couple weeks later, because I was working at a restaurant and they were going to open to the public and feed the public. So my ex-wife was too. And that's what a lot of restaurants were doing. They were just making big old batches of spaghetti and shit like that, and just making plates and handing them out. Yeah, well, yeah, and handing them out to you could have just been any Joe just walking down the street. Hey, you want a plate? That's how it was. And when like all the restaurants started opening back up very slowly, like may have had like 1 or 2 Burger Kings. It was like limited menu. It was like you got a burger with the pickle, the ketchup, and a fry and a drink. No fucking, if you don't want pickle, take the shit off yourself. You don't want the ketchup, well, you gotta wipe it off with a napkin. Yeah. And that's how a lot of restaurants were. And even the restaurant I was working in, we were the same way. We went on a limited menu. And then it was rough. I mean, it was rough getting everything back in order. I mean, a lot of shit was down still. The malls didn't open up for like another 2 months. I mean, a lot of shit didn't open back up for a while. Grocery stores. I mean, they had to go in and clean all them fucking things out. I mean, all that rotten food. I worked at a wing joint, and I was the first one to go back to the place 3 weeks later. and the wings we had prep had mold, like literally growing out of it that knocked the tops off because it was so hot in those refrigerators. Yeah, it was fucking wild. It was really wild.
It's almost like y'all Katrina survived, like y'all experienced like the COVID experience before COVID even happened. You know, like it was like nobody on the streets, everything's empty, and it just took a while for everything to return to normalcy. So it's like y'all had like like a preview of what was going to happen in 2020.
It was almost like a bomb was dropped on a city. It was like to that effect, because like when I came back, I started seeing all like the shit I saw on TV, especially like off the interstate. I saw bodies on the interstate and wrapped up in bags. The lakefront where we grew up at. I mean, it was just like, I mean, shit everywhere on the levee, like fucking vibrators for fucking some woman's drawer. You know, I mean, jet ski. I mean, it was fucking crazy when we first came back. There was barely police. Military was patrolling everything, and that was even nuts because when we came back, somebody called the police and the military showed up in one of their little troop trucks. The whole platoon jumped the fuck out, lock and loaded. They running through the apartment complex. We're like, holy shit. And then they were like, okay, we got to call everybody. All right. Y'all need some MRIs or MREs, whatever they would call, and water. And they were handing it to, I mean, it was cool. We got to experience some cool shit. Got to eat MREs, I think they're called. MRIs. I don't know. Not MRI. That's a fucking leg thing. But yeah, lived on those for a while.
Wow.
But it was wild. I had a friend that was stuck at a hospital. I mean, I could sit here and tell you everything he told me, and it was like, if you ever seen the movie Hellraiser, it's something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if y'all ever seen. If you ever want to like watch something that's actually decent to watch and it's true, the one Spike Lee did when the levees broke.
When the levees broke, yeah.
I'm not a Spike Lee fan at all. I mean, I like some of his stuff. I've never been the biggest Spike Lee fan. Malcolm X was a good movie though. That's probably the best documentary I've ever seen. He did a good job. He had the right music for. I mean, he nailed it.
Yeah. When the levees broke, definitely. Heard that was a powerful piece.
Then the Saints won the Super Bowl 5 years later. Sorry, Rich. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say that's super cheerful. Love it. That's crazy, man. Like that. First of all, like it being 20 years ago, it does not feel like that.
No, it does.
It don't. 20 years? Damn, it's been 20 years. Wow. Those are the first signs of getting old when you don't even realize decades have went past.
No. The first signs of getting old is when you're watching the news. You're like, I'd fuck the weather girl. Yeah, for sure. Traffic girl? We'll take a gander. I don't know. That's how you know you're old. You start watching the news. And you're like playing fuck, marry, kill with like the ladies. That's what happens.
Answer slave cheeks. Yes, I know about Cafe Du Monde. That's a staple.
Yeah, Kev ain't wrong there either. Yeah, I mean, like you said, you just hit a birthday and you did nothing for it. You slept, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that is it's your birthday. Do what you want.
It's your day, yeah.
Some people,
in the past, I just went out of my way to make sure I did something, memorable. Like I'm gonna remember this birthday. Not this year. Older you get. Same thing with New Year's. Remember New Year's? You went out your way to find some type of party or something that's going on overnight and blah blah blah. Now it's like you hope that you can survive to 1 o'clock or even to the ball drop. It's like New Year's means absolutely nothing, but it was everything back in the day,
Listen, At this point, I'm this level of old. New Year's happens, and I'm like, if you motherfuckers don't shut the fuck up, I swear to God, everyone's gonna die. You're all gonna die. You're all gonna. I don't have enough trunks to handle what I'm gonna do to you people. That's where I'm at in life. Now. With that being said, 4th of July. Oh, very, very erect right now. Love it. Very happy about it.
4th of July? You like 4th of July that much?
I will fuck 4th of July in its butt, and not have any regrets.
Explain. I need to. What's the story on that?
But when a mommy and daddy love each other very, very much. No. So,
Are you fucking the fireworks, Rich? Is that good? You get that explosion? Are you making your own fireworks? What's up?
something came. I'm not gonna tell you what, but it happened. No, I just love them. I love fireworks. I don't know why.
Yeah, Rich
I used-
indulges in the fireworks. He spends quite a hefty amount and gets some of the most exotic fucking fireworks that's out there. He goes
So-
all out.
I haven't done it the last few years because I don't want to deal with the neighbors. So we need to have a better place and a place where there's land. But I will spend usually $4 to $5 grand on stuff. Now with inflation, it probably now looks like six or 7. But yeah, love it.
You like your boy from y'all seen Tropic Thunder, huh?
Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah.
You're like, I can't think of his name. The one that was the pyro dude, and he blows everything up. He's like, Mother Nature just pissed herself, brother.
I love
You,
it.
Rich? He blows it up. Yeah.
No, Kev said New Year's is one night he doesn't go out anymore, which I do not blame him for, because one, motherfuckers are crazy and will shoot you for no type of reason. And it's too much of a bro culture in my eyes. Like, I don't want, like, yeah, bro, shut the fuck up. They will never find you. Say one more.
See, I'm on the opposite end, where it's like I'm not really afraid of what they're gonna do to me, but how mad I'm gonna get to maybe put myself in a jeopardized position. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, am I gonna get that mad?
100%.
Yeah.
Two-way street, 100%. Chris said he doesn't even get to midnight anymore, which once again, you age out of it, man. You age out of it. You're like, I got shit to do tomorrow. I get to laundry.
Yeah, I get to midnight. Yeah, that's not a problem. Now, how far after midnight depends where I'm at, which I don't usually go out anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Like, once you hit a certain precipice, a certain age or line in the sand, you're like, man, I'm all good, man. I'm gonna hang out and not be bumped into and have drinks spilled on me or pay an exorbitant amount for a single drink that I can make at home for a fourth of the cost. Like, it just maybe gets
that's one of the major reasons I don't go out. Is because it's like the rest of society is caught up there. It's like when you go to the movies, you know that the popcorn that you're getting is not worth $12 for a bag of popcorn, but because the convenience, they know that you are there at the movies and you have to get some snacks, they're going to charge you a ridiculous amount. So just these people that have the parties and bars, like a normal bar I go into and I don't pay anything, they may have a cover charge that night for $25 and all they're giving you is a complimentary glass of champagne or something. And it's like, no, I'm not going to do all that.
Or would you like a little pin? Like,
no,
like that.
I'll stay in the house, and if I'm gonna get shit faced, I can get shit faced here for as cheap as the liquor store sells it.
Right? Right?
Yeah, it just, I don't know, man. But you're right. Like, as a kid, you were all about that life. You had to once Christmas happened, that whole next week, you were pre-gaming for fucking New Year's. You were red team. You were like, all right, here's the plan. Red team, go. Green team, you fucking go in the bushes. Like, you're just making you had a whole scheme. And now
I made
you're
sure I
just
had like 3 different places to go to. I was like, well, yeah, we're going to start the pre-midnight here, kind of the midnight to 1 here, and then the overnight here. I mean, it was a big type of ordeal. Now it's like, no,
Yeah,
no.
year to year was different with my family. It was just depends, really.
Yeah.
We usually went somewhere though if we did, and everybody else had fireworks, so I'd shoot their shit.
Yeah. Smart. And it sucks. It's coming up close too, and I'm like getting that itch, but I realize I can't do it. It makes me a very sad panda. Very sad panda. Well, I don't know. Do you guys want to get into this draft here, or?
Might as well. Boys,
Well, yeah, Shaw,
Where are you?
you're going. Shaw's birthday is coming up here, and he's a going out fella. So he needed
2
to
to
take out.
250 going out, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Hell
he had to take out a loan to take care of his birthday bash.
The only
So, like,
time I
that's
spent 250 at a bar, I was getting a lap dance
fair.
with a drink.
I'm along the same lines of that same route to the
I had
same
never bought that
place.
much liquor in a night. It's 250, and
I would drop an easy 250 at the strip club, not at a regular bar with regular people
Actually,
with clothes
250,
on.
250. It may have been.
You can't have
15 in
clothes
the
on, so
bar.
I'm paying all
Yeah,
think
we
I've
don't
ever gotten to the bar.
let Jermaine talk about lap dances with me around. So this man got me a lap dance on my bachelor party, I think, and it was the most aggressive fucking George of the Jungle lap dance. I don't understand what this big beefy broad was trying to fucking do, but like I felt like she was trying to sand my dick. It was not great.
Did she
she's like,
actually? Did she tell you? I do extra.
oh God, please no. She was like, where's my tip? I'm like, where's my lady? Like, what the fuck are you? Fuck out of
He
here.
came out of that lap dance all sore. He's like, my muscles are sore.
Bitch broke my pelvis. But yeah, it's a running joke, but it was legitimately it was fucked up, and I've never been back since. I'm like, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm not going. No, because I feel like not even because I don't want to go there and enjoy myself, because I just feel like if I see her, I'm gonna fucking punch her on sight. Like, here's my medical bill. Handle this.
I worked for one. After you work for one, it ruins you forever.
Yeah,
You don't ever look at a strip club the same way again.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like working at a fast food restaurant. It's like once you see how they make it, and how all the products and all, you're never going back. Yeah, because you know how it's made.
I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
It was fucking great. The girls were great to me. They taught me things. I did coke in the dressing room with them while they were naked. They were cool. They didn't. I didn't look. I wasn't a threat. I was this little kid, but I learned the business, and it's like it's all a hustle.
Yeah.
And it's like they are the whores in there too. I mean, grant they are the ones that do it, but you just don't look at it. I never went after that. I was like, let's go to the strip club tonight. You know, it's like, let's go to the strip club. Okay.
No.
Nothing. Don't impress me, you know?
Right.
So you never look at them the same way again.
I don't know. I feel like with the advent of the internet, strip clubs are a little kind of like, dude, do you want to go give these bitches like $200? Or check me out. You want to go home, stay home, beat your dick real quick, then eat a cheeseburger, or the other way around. I don't really care, but save money. No.
It's just live. It's live. It's like, okay, yeah, you can look at porn, and yeah, you can look at all of this stuff on these sites and OnlyFans and all that, but it's 2-dimensional. You can't smell it, you can't see it, you can't touch it. Well, you can see it, but
or I'm sure there's an app where you can pay for a woman to come to your house.
Pretty much.
So there's something out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's fair. I mean, I get the appeal. Like it's a whole thing, but it's kind of
The days of going drive down the street to find a streetwalker are over. You could just app a bitch now and be like DoorDash, you know? Drop her off at the front door, you know?
Yeah, DoorDash abroad. You know?
Pick up in 20 minutes, you know? She'll be back on the door, you know, the doorstep, you know? Yes, I'm sure there's that app. There's an app for everything.
absolutely. It's called fucking Tinder. All right. Well, let's get into this draft here because, like I said, I'm trying to keep this to a certain amount of time so no one's going over. So we spun the little wheel, and we're gonna do our top action movies. Now, by default, as it always is, the guest goes first. I am going to roll the random number generator to see who goes second between me and Jermaine, and it is Jermaine, so he'll be going second. I'll be going third. So, quick little fun rules. There are no overlaps, so let the tilt happen. If, you know, Phatty takes what I want, then I'm fucked, and I have to figure out something else to pivot from. So, sir, and this is not necessarily in any particular order. It's just kind of what you pick, but what is your first pick?
If I had to go with something off the top of my head, Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger from 1983. That's the greatest barbarian movie ever made, ever will be made. The score was perfect. James Earl Jones as Tulsa Doom was great. You know, it's one of those perfect movies.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. My action movie is probably a little bit more recent, but I'm gonna go with Transformers, the franchise of the Transformers. I mean, it got out of hand after like the third or the fourth one, but the first couple classics. So, big fan of the Transformers. Just a kid.
Okay. So I'm once again not my favorite, but it holds a special place in my heart. I'm gonna go with Face Off, and the only reason I'm saying Face Off, it's because it's the first movie I watched that I heard the word "fuck" in. And I was like, "Ooh, this is dirty," and it just. And plus, Nicolas Cage is a fucking lunatic, and he's a national goddamn treasure, and that pun intended. But yeah, you're welcome. Yeah,
that's a great movie. They were both playing two roles.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Roles. That's what made it good. That's a damn good. It's very underrated.
It is. It's one of those kind of like, oh yeah, that was a movie. Yeah. All right, sir.
If I had another one, Terminator 2.
Thank you,
the sequel. One of the greatest sequels, if not the greatest sequel of all time. I mean, the one I'm saving for last. I'm saving one in particular for last. So that one could be considered the greatest sequel of all time. But Terminator 2 holds a special place in my heart. It was the last movie I saw with my dad at the show before he passed, and it also got me. Guns N' Roses was the song for that movie, and that I had that transition with that song from the wrestling and childish things to my teenage years because of that. I started buying records and shit and growing my hair and becoming a rocker or whatever, headbanger, you know. But yeah, Terminator 2.
You make a great point about sequel. Like usually the sequel doesn't, follow the original or better than the original, but that is definitely one movie where the sequel was way better than the original. It was excellent.
Difficult. It's very difficult to kind of. Then once you get into like the trilogy stuff, you're like, oh Christ, who knows? Yeah. Okay.
Well, me, I'm a big Marvel fan, so any of those Avengers movies, jam packed with action, beginning to end, big fan. I don't even really have to say too much.
I love how your one pick is like 9 movies each time.
Now, my question is Is it pre Endgame or post Endgame too?
Pre. I like the Infinity War was probably probably the best one, and then Endgame. I mean,
Yeah, that's fair. And
yeah,
I'm the same. After Endgame, to me, that's where it ended.
yeah. I mean, now these movies, it's like everything now. All these movies now are like running on fumes. It's almost like the gas is out the car, and you're just still kind of cranking, like
It's on life
trying to
support.
get it. Yeah, it's not going too far right now. Yep, after Endgame was it.
All right, and I'm gonna need help from chat on this one here. I don't know if this counts, but we'll kind of get the survey here. Would Pulp Fiction fall under an action movie?
I can't
It's a
speak on
movie
this.
with action in it.
Never seen
It
it.
has a lot of other quips.
Really?
You never seen Pulp Fiction?
Y'all know y'all not the only ones that have told me these words. Yes, I never seen it. I swear to you, I've never seen it. I have a very good excuse.
Okay. Well,
it was in my young
no.
drug era, so I wasn't really watching movies at that time, and I never did get a chance to see it. So.
All right. Well, it doesn't matter. Everyone said no. So, all right, I'll pivot. Great. Bastard. All right. I guess I would go with, Die Hard.
Is it a Christmas movie?
I mean, technically, yes. Yeah, Pulp Fiction is great. I'm very hurt by you fucking people. You could have said yes, but you didn't. Great flick. It's a great movie. It's not an action movie, but it's a great flick. Fuck you guys. Yeah, it just kind of it felt like, one of the OG kind of action movies that kind of made Bruce Willis a name, and yeah,
that's fair. I like the sequel. I like the second one just as good as I did the first one. The third one was good too. I didn't care for the fourth one. I was like, okay, we're getting old now.
Fair.
Yeah, you start bringing the sun and all of them into it. It's like, okay, done.
There you go. All right, sir. Number 3 pick. We do 4 rounds. I didn't tell you that. My bad.
That would be definitely The Crow with Brandon Lee. That's one of my all-time favorites. I have
Classic.
2 favorite movies, and that's one of them. So definitely The Crow. Great movie, great soundtrack. It represented Generation X. That's why it should never be touched. You can't make a movie like that with today's generation. They're pussies.
That's fair. They are.
Wow.
Okay.
That one's from in the crates. The Crow is in the crates. That is classic. Once again, I'm choosing a movie that got like 900 movies to it. I'll go with the Bad Boys franchise. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Bad Boys, all of them. Pretty good to me. Jam-packed with action and funny. So, Bad Boys.
I haven't seen the last one, but someone played me the Reggie, like this highlight of Reggie.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, look at Reggie got his shit.
Yeah.
When he was in the house taking them all down.
He was cutting them up. And they had the camera like almost like a Call of Duty type of thing where it's almost like a video game. It was
Right.
crazy.
Well, I think that was kind of the shtick, wasn't it?
Like they did it on purpose. Like they tried to like use the camera where you're going through rooms just like you in Call of Duty, like, hitting people up from a first person narrative.
Because that was crazy, because that was always my favorite scene from part 2. When they fucked with poor Reggie at the door. Who fuck you?
All right.
He was like, you at least 40.
You ever made love to a man? No.
He's
What?
like, you want to?
I hope that gets clipped, and I cannot wait to put that out in the ether without any backstory. Just Jermaine saying that. I'm gonna go with Independence Day.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
Like, look, you watch that on July 4th, you were ready to go outside and take up arms for anybody. Like the ants that you stepped on, you're taking up arms. You're gonna go fucking fight the ant king, the rival ant king. It's just it's just that it was a well-made movie. It's quotable. It tugs on your feels. It does all the things a blockbuster should do. And it's a really solid movie.
No, it is. I mean,
Number 2 was terrible, but it's
yeah.
fine. Everyone expected that to be terrible.
Yeah, well, you don't have Will Smith. That kind of hurt it right there.
Yeah,
And the
that-
story was
Part
just
two was-
story.
I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah, I can't even remember it to be 100% honest, but I just remember that it was not rememberable.
Yeah,
It was
they even
butchered.
brought back
That's
the
about the
doctor.
only thing I can remember. Yeah, all I can remember it was butchered.
Yeah,
Awful sequel.
and like I don't even know what that reference is there, Slave. I really don't. Like, was that a quote in the movie? Because I no idea.
Yeah, that was from, I think, part 1. He's like, why are you upset? It's ain't over till the fat lady sings or something. He said, why are you so obsessed with the fat lady?
Yeah, when they were trying to
okay.
leave the mothership. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. It's been a few years.
I remember. Actually, no shit. I still have the ticket stub to that movie.
Really?
When I went to see it in '96. Yeah, I still have it.
Dang.
Because that movie, it took. I mean, that was like a major blockbuster, and they didn't have.
Yeah.
I mean, Rich, I'm not meant to.
They didn't have the CGI they got
How old
now.
are you, Rich?
Me? I just turned 39.
39. So okay, so you're younger. Yeah. So when Independence Day came out, there wasn't really the Metroplexes yet. It was just single screen shows, and you'd have to sit there for like 3 to 4 hours for the next show or the third show to go see it, or shit, maybe sometimes the next day. I mean, they didn't have all the screens back then. So yeah,
Not
it was like
word
a big
for
event.
word there, Slave, but I do. Yeah, that is that one that gets you all the chills and you're ready to like go fight some aliens like this. Fair. All right. So your last pick, your anchor pick. Who?
Oh, my favorite action movie of all time is hands down the greatest sequel ever made, Aliens.
Really?
The sequel to Alien. Yep.
Never got into Aliens. I just thought it was a silly. I mean, not a silly premise. It just didn't. Now hold on. I feel like that falls more under the horror.
Aliens, the sequel? No. That's an action, sci-fi action. The first movie would be considered more horror because that was a psychological horror. The James Cameron movie was a straight up action. I need Planet Mondo on that one. I know he's an Aliens fan. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, that movie, if it never came out then and it came out now, would make money. That movie holds up today.
Yeah.
The practical effects were fucking off the chain. And I love that movie. I gotta watch it once a year at least with the sound on, dark.
I've just never been into space stuff. It just doesn't interest me. It doesn't tickle my fancy. Just there's nothing about it that draws me into it.
Well, you got to remember, in the 80s, movies like that were marketed for kids.
Yeah,
they weren't marketing for like they were trying to get the teenage kids thing going. Yeah. A lot of those action movies were targeted. Fucking, they sold Rambo toys, for Christ's sake. You know, I mean,
Rambo was a violent character, a very violent character.
When I was in grammar school, we used to sell the world's famous chocolate candy bars and shit in a little box. You go door to door, get $1 for the fucking candy bar. You sold the box. You got a Rambo poster with the motherfucker holding an M60. You know, it was like, this is grammar public school. That's how they didn't give a shit about that. You could bring toy guns to school and play fucking war, and the kids are having fun.
Yeah, well, it was a different time. I mean, I think Blazing Saddles was rated G, but that's also one of my favorite movies. I love it. Okay, Jermaine, last pick. What do you have?
I'm gonna ask: is my movie qualify, or is it considered a western? But
No, it's not. It's not. It's not a movie.
Tombstone. Does anybody? Tombstone's. If it is just a western and we can't include it, I'm just gonna go out on the limb and say that's the best western I've ever seen. But I'll call it a.
I'm with Jermaine on that one. I'm with you on that one. It's action.
All right, let's see the chat here. They'll answer the question if that falls in action.
Yeah, does Tombstone or do we got to go a whole different category and just go all westerns?
Kev wanted to know what you felt about Romulus.
I've never seen Romulus yet. I'd never watch it. I mean, a lot of the movies now they don't get me excited no more. So I don't make it a point like the Predator movies. I'm a Predator fan too. But after like the one that was on Hulu, I thought was fucking trash. That's my opinion, but I thought it was fucking trash.
By the way, you're out. I think you have to have another pick here, sir. Everyone's saying it's a western.
It's a western. Okay. Action-packed movies. I haven't seen them all. And now I told you I might as well stick with all picks that got like 700. This one got 700 movies and like 50 different actors that played it. The 007 franchise.
Okay.
I mean, you got, Sean Connery and Chris Brosnan, all these different people playing it, but those movies are jam-packed from the beginning to the end in action. It's action, a love story. It kind of follows the same outline, but tons of action.
That is a legit pick.
So real quick, Slave
Saving Private
Ryan. So one of my picks I was thinking about was going either Black Hawk Down or American Sniper, but I didn't know if that fell into its own kind of genre, like a war kind of thing.
War type of, yeah. Yeah, because you can go Full Metal Jacket if we're going down that road.
Oh, you would have not had a chance to touch that if that was even included. Oh God. So my pick, and it's along the lines of
oh my God. Bloodsport, anything Van Damme, almost all of Van Damme's movies in the late 80s going into the 90s was excellent.
Double Impact was my favorite. There was something about that one.
The twins, yeah.
Shaw brought up a good one here, and I'm amazed no one said this yet. Or not, no. I'm sorry. I thought he said John Wick. But
I was about to say John Wick, yeah.
Now, my pick, it falls in the vein of the Independence Day, but like how you just want to fight your neighborhood. The first time I saw 300, holy shit.
Good movie.
I was ready to go to war. Fully go to war. I like the historical references, the historical kind of part of it. I just think it is a very entertaining, fun movie. It has like the roller coaster of things that happens and yada yada yada. But it's not one of those like shoot, bang, bang, gun. It's like, no, I got spears and shit, and I basically like lift bears on my off days to like be all pumped up. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna hit you with the sword a bunch, and that's how that's gonna go for you. I don't know. I dig it.
That just made me think of Gladiator. It's one of the best ones too. Damn, same type of era of time.
Especially the way they made that movie made it real good. The Zack Snyder look.
Yeah. Like it's almost like black and white, but it's like painted black and white almost. Craziness. Yeah.
Kev Coast has Bloodsport and Lionheart. Well, now don't forget about Jean-Claude.
All these Van Damme movies, yeah.
There's a movie everybody forgets about. It's a little movie called Cyborg, which never gets any love. I love Cyborg.
Yeah. That was him and Dolph Lundgren, right?
No, that was Universal Soldier. The Cyborg
Universal
one was
Soldier.
like that low budget one he made. With I can't think of the guy's name. He was that
I believe
big
I've seen
muscle.
Eraser, Shaw. I believe I saw like some of Eraser, but I couldn't tell you the fucking premise of it.
Has anyone seen Eraser, Raw, and Red Heat? I remember Red Heat with Jim Belushi. Raw Deal. He's thinking of Raw Deal, not Raw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think about old Arnold now.
Pretty much, yeah. Any Arnold or any Stallone movie, you can lay him out.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
It was like them three. It was like Arnold,
I liked, you know what? I
Stallone,
like
and then Van Damme. They were all like in that same. They were just competing with how many they can bring out.
Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris was up there. Wasn't
Yeah.
Was it Crank with Statham? Like that first one where he needs to like it's basically like Speed except it's with a person. Is that what it was called? Crank?
I think
That sounds familiar.
I enjoyed it. It's a fucking guilty pleasure, but you know, it worked.
I have Cyborg. It's all right. Super. I know that's what made it great. There's a lot of cheesy movies that turned out to be great.
Yeah.
You know, look,
Yeah.
everybody, look, Killer Clowns became a cult phenomenon. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it
a
did.
cheesy movie.
Yeah. Killer. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the fun of it. It's fun in some of it. It's so bad it's good. Like that's
No,
what me
that's
and the
what the
wife.
80s was. Cheesy movies, especially the B ones.
Oh yeah. Like some of those troll movies. Oh my god. They're so cheesy that there's like a cult following behind them. Like Troll 1 and 2, and like they're that bad that they're like celebrated for how bad they are.
Oh yeah. They kind of break through that wall of being so bad they're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did not expect to kind of have that much reaction to those. That is a
Action USA. I've never heard of Action USA.
never even heard of it. That sounds like a Goodwill store.
Yeah, that sounds like instead of buying a He-Man, you bought like or G.I. Joe. That was like the Aldi version of them, Action USA.
Action Man USA. Action Man USSR.
No, I would consider Fugitive an action movie.
Yeah, I would say it would.
Yeah.
It's like a crime drama.
It's like a crime investigation type of
Check the face.
Of course, Chuck had banging.
You're-
He's Chuck fucking Norris, man.
Yeah, you're just saying that so he doesn't come kick your ass in the middle of the night.
And he won't even have to leave his house.
He won't even have to leave his house. He will email you an ass whooping.
Point Break action movie. I'd be drama again with that one.
Running Man.
Running Man.
Love the Running Man. Yeah, love the Running Man.
I always wanted to know how the board game in the movie worked because he was giving them away. The home edition of Running Man. I was like, how did that work?
Who's running? Yeah.
How did that work? Is it little pieces on a board or y'all got to act out some shit?
But yeah, you got a good one. Predator too. Yeah, Predator was excellent. Yeah.
They're remaking it. Yeah, I heard they are. I don't know why.
Yeah. Now they calling it Prey, and they flipping the word back and forth. And, yeah.
I mean, you had Richard Dawson. He was an actual game show host. That's what made his character so good. He knew how to do it.
He's like, and who do you love? He was like, yes.
Even though it wasn't great, but I did kind of enjoy Alien vs Predator. Thought it was a silly idea.
I liked it for the fact I liked the director's attitude in that because I remember when they were making it, he was like, I don't want to use CGI as much as I can. I want everything in the shot. I want practical effects. And that's what I liked about it. The story sucked. I mean, if anyone ever read the comic book, yeah, it was way off, but they tried. I'll give them that.
I mean, it was the same idea when they did the whole like Freddy kills Jason or whatever the hell the thing was called.
Yeah.
That was way better than Alien versus Predator. I'll give it that much.
Yeah. And you figure back in those days, now we got these streaming platforms where you don't have to lay the whole story out in an hour and a half. Like of course, these movies are going to be cheesy because they got to cut it up and leave out so much because you're jam packing all this information into an hour and a half. Nowadays, you got Netflix where you got a movie that would normally they would jam pack in an hour and a half. That they're taking 10 episodes to explain, and they explain it well. Yeah, so. A lot of stuff was left out, and some things compare cheesy because they only got an hour and a half.
That's the problem with. I think, I hate getting all the show at once. I'm not a fan of that because I like to be excited for the next week. Right. I remember, some of my favorite wrestling moments was in the Monday Night Wars with Tony Schiavone at the end of Nitro. We gotta go. We'll see you next week. And that's what made you. I gotta watch next week. I gotta see what the fuck happened. And when you get everything at once, it kind of ruins that. It ruins that excitement for the next thing.
Well,
it's like, all right, let me start it.
You can binge watch it.
Yeah, that's just what we are now. Like, we are instant gratification, and
Well, I mean, there are certain shows that they do make you wait a week on. Like, there's certain series that I watch now where you do have to wait every Sunday at 9:00. Like, it's not there, and on HBO, like that Last of Us show. I'm a big fan of that. They make you wait. They really make you wait for the next episode. But
everybody else does too. It's just Netflix just throws everything on at once.
Throws the whole season out at one time. You're like, wow.
I think it hurts them. I think like with Cobra Kai.
Gotta tease us a little bit more. Me too, big fan of Cobra Kai.
Yeah, if it was weekly, I think it would have been a bigger show than it actually was. But once everybody watched it, everybody talked about it for about a week, and
it's over. Whereas you can stretch that out for 6 months.
Popular. Everybody was talking about Games of Thrones that next week. Oh shit, I got to see next week. It was like wrestling of the 90s. Got to see what's going to happen next week. But now you get everything at once. No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see both sides of it. I like it, but I also, I do like the whole cliffhanger. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Did you think that? Shit, I don't know.
At least stagger them at 2 at a time. To me, like if you staggered at least 2 of them, because you got that person that watches one show and they're like, man, I really need another show. So maybe 2 at a time. That's probably better than just laying out the whole series at one time.
And as a podcaster or a YouTube show that was trying to review shit like that, actually, it's harder to try to review the whole fucking series at one time than it is that episode, because you could get more detailed and talk about it and talk about your theories and whatever,
Yeah. Like I said, I see both sides of it, but if it was up to me, I would go back to the older kind of version of shut up and wait. Shut up and wait.
Teaser.
I mean, it's either that or they're so afraid everything's gonna get leaked somehow, and then the ending it's just gonna get spoiled. So they're like, well, I mean, so they watch it
the old-fashioned way. The less people that know, the more it won't get out. Just keep it under wraps with a handful of people. But nowadays, everybody seems to have to be in on something. It goes back to the sponsorship shit. You gotta have their hands in something, Everybody gotta have their hands.
Everyone's gonna promote it, in between the basketball game, you're promoting this show. You can't keep things under wraps nowadays.
I will say this because we are running late here. So speaking of promoting the show, Phatty, sir, please tell the people where to find you, when to find you, and I'll say something after that. Go ahead.
You can find us on YouTube at The Bayou Geeks. Where usually we record on Saturday, or not record, we go live on Saturdays, but sometimes we go on Fridays. You can also catch us on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Rumble. We're on Rumble. We live stream on Rumble too. Come check out me, Maximus, Gary, Chris, Dirk, Shot of Brandy, and Mike D.
Beautiful.
And y'all are more than welcome to come on when y'all want. Just let me know.
Well,
y'all want to come on stream with us and hang out and You know,
Yeah.
I may get a lot more looter since I'm on my show.
Yeah.
make it ugly on that motherfucker.
And just a real quick thing here. I meant to put this together this week, but I've been kind of finalizing some things and kind of putting together a bit of a script so I can kind of do, put my own little promo in here. So I can kind of mention all the folks that have platforms and all that. So I'll be doing that this week. It'll be up by next week. Tomorrow, me and Chris Matthews are going for the baseball show. So that's fun. Next week, there may or may not be someone in this chat that will be with us next week. I don't know. And Mr. Brian, he blew his load here all over my face. I mean, no, I didn't mean that. He blew the load today on the Spitball show here. So he's a huge Friday the 13th guy. Huge. Very huge. And funny enough, coming in a few Fridays is Friday the 13th. So Brian's popping on with us on Friday instead of Thursday. And we're going to have a special Jason show. So it'll be fun. It'll be a fun time. Yeah, I just figured it worked out perfectly. I think actually next week we're gonna record on Saturday because I'm literally going to the symphony on Friday. And one of the guests may or may not be able to do it on Thursday. I feel like I'm narrowing it down like we're playing that Guess Who game. But anywho, you remember Guess Who? That was super underrated.
Does he have a green hat?
Dude, oh my God. Look, my kid used to beat my ass in that. And I'm just like, why the fuck are you so smart? Like, I don't know. Rather see. There you go.
They figured out the shortcut.
Yeah. Terrible.
The card unlocked.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, sir, I appreciate you coming on, spending the time. I know
No
we ran
problem.
a little bit long,
Appreciate you, Phatty.
Yeah. Look forward to having y'all on soon. We'll have to schedule something.
Oh
Y'all
yeah,
come
for
with
sure.
us.
Now we do a little thing here. Let me find it. So Jermaine will leave us out here. Go ahead, sir. Let everybody know.
With that being said, there's ducks to be fed. Feed them ducks. Feed them ducks. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for everybody tuning in.